Now we would take vector or cross product of two vectors. Okay, so for that first we need to revise our right-handed system. You all must have studied, children. Okay, so what does this right-handed system say? They've shown your right hand here. So in your by your right hand, now if you curl the fingers of your right hand, then the direction in which the thumb goes. Okay, so they say that if we take the direction of rotation, okay, right-handed screw system bhi kehlata hai. Okay, so if we rotate a screw in in this direction in which the fingers are curling, like from x-axis to y-axis, this is going from positive of x-axis to positive of y-axis, then the third line perpendicular to this, okay, the third axis perpendicular to that positive direction of that would be along the direction of the thumb. और screw में ऐसे हम बोलते हैं कि if you will rotate the screw in this direction, along this, in anti-clockwise we can say, from positive here, then the screw would be moving in upward direction. Okay, so that is your right-handed system, which they are recalling out here, because when we are finding cross product of two vectors, we know that we call it as a vector product, because in this case two vectors are multiplying to give you a vector quantity. So if it is giving you a vector quantity, the resultant is a vector, then it ought to have a direction. So what would be the direction of that resulting vector? When we are finding cross product of A and B, तो ये जो vector बनेगा उसका direction क्या होगा? तो direction of that vector is obtained by or is governed by this right-handed system, it has been said. Okay. So fine, now we'll come to our actual topic, that is the vector product of two vectors, which is also called as cross product because it is denoted by putting a cross between the two vectors. Okay, so like we had done, A dot B, scalar product was modulus of A modulus of B cos of theta between those two vectors. So for cross product, it is modulus of A modulus of B into sine of theta. Theta is the angle between those two vectors. So this is the outgoing vector A, outgoing vector B. Remember, I told you that you have to make sure to measure this angle between two vectors. It should be their meeting point, or they should be incoming to a particular point, or they should be outgoing from that common point. Then the rotation in between is taken to be theta, or the angle between those two vectors. Okay, so this expression modulus of A modulus of B sine theta, this bit would give you the magnitude of this A cross B, and we also we denote the direction of this by n cap, unit vector, and as they've shown out here, the direction of this resulting vector is perpendicular to both of these two vectors. Okay, means when you're finding A cross B, the vector obtained will be perpendicular to A as well as vector B. Okay, so that is how it forms a right-handed system. All right. Okay, so say as they have said out here that vector n is perpendicular to both A and B. That's very important fact to be kept in mind. Okay, at times they ask you, these are two vectors, then find a vector perpendicular to both the vectors. So that's straight away, if you find the cross product of the two vectors, the obtained vector will be perpendicular to both the vectors. Okay, so right-handed system is formed. Now there are certain observations out here, certain points which we had, like we had done in scalar product as well. So A cross B will be a vector. There we had said A dot B comes out to be a real number. Here we know that cross product will end up giving me a some vector. Now let A and B be two non-zero vectors. Then A cross B would turn out to be a null vector if and only if A and B are both parallel in vectors is same as collinear to each other. Why? Because that was your expression here, modulus of A modulus of B sine theta. So for this whole expression to be 0, either your modulus of A has to be 0, will happen only when A is 0, vector A is a null vector. Modulus of B would be 0 when B would be a null vector. If both of them are not 0, that means your sine theta is 0. Sine theta is 0 when theta is 0. Okay, or maybe pi, because sine 0 and sine pi are both 0, and theta 0 means both the vectors, direction of both the vectors is same. They are parallel, collinear, whichever way you say it. Okay, pi bhi hoga to opposite direction hoga to line of action same hoga. Okay, they'll be parallel only, collinear, right? So that hence our conclusion. Dot product जब हमारा 0 था, what did we conclude? Dot product between two non-zero vectors is 0 if they are perpendicular. Cross product between two vectors is 0 if they are parallel. So important conclusion from there. Okay. Then next important point is, okay, here they are further saying that cross product of any vector with itself will always be 0. That's another important point. Okay, whenever you consider cross product of a vector with itself, it comes out to be 0 because again theta हमारा 0 हो जाएगा या pi हो जाएगा. Either way sin theta would be 0, making in turn the whole cross product 0. Alright, now if theta is pi by 2, there you remember dot product में हमारा maximum magnitude आता था between a dot a was modulus of a square, remember? Okay. Okay, now if theta is pi by 2 means two vectors are perpendicular, तो इसमें maximum magnitude आएगा उल्टा. Then scalar product. Okay, and scalar product में अगर pi by 2 था theta तो scalar product was 0, dot product was 0. Okay, and here the other way around, vice versa हो गया. If they are perpendicular, it will give you the maximum magnitude, that is modulus of a into modulus of b. Okay, now okay, according then for ijk we will come to the component parts now. So for ijk the story will be again the reverse. वहाँ हमारा I dot I, j dot j, k dot k was becoming 1 1 1 each, and I dot j, j dot k dot I were all becoming zeros. यहाँ अब यहाँ उल्टा हो गया हमारा I cross I, j cross j, k cross k. We've already said cross product of any vector with itself is always 0. And now I j k, अब इसमें जब होगा I cross j gives you k, I j k, three of them are mutually perpendicular. और हम बोल रहे हैं जब हम क्रॉस प्रोडक्ट करते हैं तो रिजल्टिंग वेक्टर इज परपेंडिकुलर टू बोथ द वेक्टर्स. तो I एंड j पर k परपेंडिकुलर आएगा, j एंड k पर I परपेंडिकुलर आएगा, एंड k एंड I पर j आएगा. बट द ऑर्डर इज इंपॉर्टेंट क्योंकि हम बोल रहे हैं वो राइट हैंडेड सिस्टम फॉलो करता है. ओके, सो अगर आपका रोटेशन रिवर्स हो गया हियर, देन इफ यू रिवर्स योर रोटेशन then it will be a downward vector, not upward vector. Okay, so that's important out here. Like हमने scalar product में बोला था a dot b is exactly same as b dot a. It was commutative. Here it will not be straight away commutative. Okay, because direction reverse हो जाता है. Okay, so when you're finding this cross product with I j k's, you have to, they've shown you out here a cycle. This follows a cyclic rotation. After I comes j k and then comes I back. Okay, तो ये एंटी क्लॉकवाइज में ऐसे रोटेट हो रहे हैं. सो इफ यू रिवर्स दिस ऑर्डर तो आपको एक माइनस साइन लगाना पड़ेगा. देयर बी अ डिफरेंस ऑफ नेगेटिव साइन. ओके, सो आफ्टर आई जे के आई देन के आई जे, ये ऑर्डर चलेगा. आई जे के आई जे के आई जे के, लाइक दिस इट मूव्स इन साइक्लिक ऑर्डर. that you have to take care of. Okay, then with the help of cross product, scalar product, we gave theta, cos theta there. With the help of that formula we end up getting cos theta was a dot b upon modulus of a modulus of b. तो उसी तरह आप sin theta भी निकाल सकते हो. We can also evaluate angle between two vectors by using cross product, as sin theta will be modulus of a cross b upon modulus of a modulus of b. इस expression से where's the definition? Okay, that's gone in the next page. Okay, so as we had the definition that here your, where is it, a cross b was this. So if you consider modulus, so ये sign drop हो जाएगा आपका, direction drop हो जाएगा. So sin theta will be obtained as modulus of a cross b upon modulus of a modulus of b. तो ऐसे भी आप angle निकाल सकते हो, but we always prefer to use dot product because finding dot products is definitely way of easier than क्रॉस प्रोडक्ट. ओके, क्रॉस प्रोडक्ट में ज़्यादा मेहनत होती है, ज़्यादा लंबा हो जाता है, तो वी रेयरली यूज दिस फॉर्मूला. कभी अगर एंगल पूछा जाता है तो यू नीड टू गो फॉर कॉस थीटा और डॉट प्रोडक्ट. ओके, alright children, so in continuation of that only follows this next result. They are saying that vector product is not commutative. I told you it will differ by a negative sign क्योंकि रोटेशन आपका उल्टा हो गया तो डाउनवर्ड वेक्टर हो जाता है. ओके, सो a क्रॉस b मैग्नीट्यूड इक्वल होगा ऑफ कोर्स, बट डायरेक्शन इज रिवर्स्ड. सो a क्रॉस b बिकम्स माइनस ऑफ b क्रॉस a, टू बी kept in mind. Okay, and keeping in view next point is also following from the same. So likewise ijk में भी अगर आप इनको interchange कर दोगे तो ये negative sign से differ हो जाएगा. Okay, so if you know one fact, understood one fact, rest follow automatically. Okay,